I'm Mandy Rose, and this is how I work it. I'm gonna take you through 24 hours of my wellness and beauty routine. I'm on the road 300 days of the year. I train about 5 to 6 days a week. We do about 200 shows per year. My job is extremely physical. I'm wrestling 4 nights out of the week and traveling city to city, so it takes a huge toll on your body. But it's very rewarding. Our sport is the biggest interaction with our fans. The best part is seeing the children's smiles on their faces when we perform.
Good morning, everyone. It is time to wake up.
First thing I do when I wake up, press snooze, get a couple more minutes out of it.
It's gonna be a great day. It's about 8 a.m. First things first, I have to brush my teeth.
I get up and brush my teeth and then wash my face. I like this cleanser a lot. It's a soy face cleanser by Fresh. I can use this every day, morning and night, and I usually use another exfoliator that's a little bit rougher like every other night after I take off my makeup and like after show days, basically. I just feel like cleaner after I use an exfoliator. Part of my job is wearing a lot of makeup and traveling in different hotels every night. Taking care of my skin and developing a consistent routine is extremely important for me. I'm in a business with sports and entertainment, and I'm all about looking good. I created a skincare line. It's called Rose.
First is rose water.
It adds like an energizer. It kind of like just refreshes my skin as a hydrator. I not only use this toner after I cleanse, but I can also use it like after I work out or like it's like hot out and I could just give it a couple spray. My best Instagram.
Then lifting serum.
I do like a little like dime size and you just brush it throughout your face. I like to do it under my eyes more and work my way.
Then boosting moisturizer.
My skin is a little bit on the dry side, so I have to use moisturizer throughout the day. Usually morning and night I apply the moisturizer, but I also will apply it if I have to get my makeup done. Kind of helps the makeup sit. We're obviously wrestling with all the makeup and like usually in that same makeup for like a few hours, so we want to make sure it stays. Because of how much I work and early flights and late nights, I love the feeling of an eye gel.
This eye gel, it has a reflector in it, which helps with those dark circles. I need that. And all of these products have hyaluronic acid in them. You can use just like a little tap.
It almost gives a like highlight look, and also it helps with crow's feet and fine lines.
You don't have any of those things.
Well, thank goodness for some Botox.
And there you have it.
I like to eat my breakfast. And I usually go to the gym. I am in the car on my way to the gym. Let's go. Being on the road and traveling as much as I do, the gym helps me maintain my healthy lifestyle, but also makes me feel like, you know, home away from home.
Getting that cardio in before our flight to Philippines. 14 and a half hours.
No big deal. I love just getting to the gym, getting my heart rate up, whether it's doing some cardio or high intensity interval training. I genuinely feel good after I work out, mentally, physically, emotionally. It just makes me feel great, and that's why I got into working out and fell in love with it when I first started. I created an app called Fit with Mandy for any person, any skill level, and it requires little to no equipment. So it's really easy and convenient. I try to drink at least 1 gallon of water a day. How much I work out and wrestle, you gotta stay hydrated. I usually always eat after I work out. I have a protein shake with a banana, almond butter, and then I have a meal right after I work out. I'm still in Shanghai. I just trained legs, had a great workout, and now I'm eating some noodles, which are really good. But I gotta get to packing because we have to travel to Hawaii today. I've been on the road for like over 2 weeks by now. Packing, living out of my suitcases. Life of Mandy Rose. Usually when I get to the arena, I check in with the producers. We find out who we're working that night, what our match is, and if we gotta get in the ring and rehearse anything, or we just get in the locker room and start, you know, getting ready. On TV days, rehearsal can last a couple hours, whether it's going over an entrance or part of the match. The main thing is obviously to put on a good performance, but to do it in a safe manner as well. We've all gone through a couple years of training. We know how to work and who we're working with, our opponents. I've never had an injury. Knock on wood. For our live events, we do our own makeup. I've pretty much had to learn how to do my makeup for a show, which is different because you're under a lot of lights. So this is my makeup bag that I travel with, show to show. We got pretty much everything in here. It usually takes about an hour to do my hair and makeup for a show. Because I travel so much and have to do this a lot, I always carry a makeup brush cleaner. And I like to clean them before I apply my makeup because it just gives it a little bit like moist and easier to put on. Good morning, y'all. I need to put some makeup on this face. So first, you're putting the foundation on. I use this Revolution foundation. It goes on really smooth and it's like thick enough for what we do, but it's not cakey looking. I like to just put this all over. I'm a little bit in a rush, so it looks like I'm kind of going rough, but sometimes we're crunched for time. I used to spray tan a lot, but I stopped doing it so much because I had found a really good product, Bondi Sands actually. It's like a foam base and it comes off so naturally. But I don't put it on my face. As you can tell, my face is really white and my body's tan because I don't spray tan my face. I like to keep my face nice and fresh. Sometimes it comes off orangey on my face, so I'll just tend to put my makeup on and match my body with my makeup. Most wrestlers tan. We work so hard, we train so hard in the gym, we want to show off our muscles, you know? And they say if you can't tone it, tan it. Especially with my character, God's greatest creation, I call myself. I'm all about aesthetics. Okay, next, what I use for highlighter is Tarte Shape Tape. It's great for what we do, being in front of the camera and just thick. I like to do a little bit of under my eye, bring it down a little bit, bridge of my nose. Mandy Rose is Amanda times 1,000. My character has a lot to do with how I truly am, but it's just like more exaggerated. I'm a really down-to-earth person in real life, but like my character could come off a little bit conceited and like a little bit full of herself. So good. I mean, come on, like look at me. Obviously, like on TV, I amp it up a little bit and act extra conceited. I don't know, I'm just very confident.
You will never look like me! No one wants to look like you!
I like to use this for when I contour because it usually just evens it out a little bit nicer. When I do under the eyes, I like to go over my eye too, because I'm not gonna put much eye makeup on. Especially if I'm not going super crazy with the glamorous look, I like to sometimes not use eyeshadow, so I'll use like white. Just kind of like opens them up more. I'm also called the Golden Goddess, so I like to use a lot of golds, neutral colors. I also like to use a lot of like berries and plum colors for my eyes for like eyeshadow, but it all depends on what outfit I'm wearing. Like before I do my bronzer, I do a setting powder, and this is like the best setting powder ever, Laura Mercier. Sometimes under lights and heat, you get like the greasy look a little bit, so this helps when we're on set and we have like to do touch-ups. That's why they use like a lot of the makeup when we're taping, because you could rub your whole face off on someone's gear like in a headlock. You have to have layers of it on. Use a setting spray so it lasts longer. My signature wrestling move is like a bicycle knee. I go up with my left and I hit with my right. That's not my finisher though. I have it's like an angel wing sit out as my finisher. They're upside down, pick them up, and I sit out with them and they land on their stomach. It's cool. I'd have to say anything that's landing like on your, like with your neck, I get a little nervous with, like a German suplex. You have to rely on the other person to not throw you too hard or you not to jump too hard. Cause like if your timing's off, you could land on your head, land on your neck. It's a little more dangerous. So then we're gonna do my bronzer. So this is my bronzer that I use. And it's like, Golden Goddess and all, I go like a little below my cheekbone, and then I use another brush to get my nose. I don't like to contour my nose too dramatic because a lot of people say they think I have a fake nose. It's not, it's real. But sometimes when I contour it, like, looks fake. My mom, she's like, you have a nose that people pay money to get. I'm like, okay. That's another thing with wrestling. I get really nervous that no one ever touches my face and messes up my nose. So I like to go only right here. Don't go too high because you could actually make your nose look bigger up at the top area. I like to do the tip of the nose too. I have this other great brush that I love, Edge Kabuki. It gets those corners and those edges. Any little mark or like you didn't blend it right, like you're screwed because you're up close. Right now I could be like, oh, I look great right now. But then I can go under the lights and they'll be like, whoa, like your face doesn't match your body, you're blotchy or whatever it may be. That's the tricky part. And I kind of just like blend throughout, like little circles. After I blend, I like to use my bronzer all around. So I got my eyebrows microbladed like a year and a half ago. I've gotten like touch-ups since then, but they've lasted me a really long time. It's so nice to have one less step to do. I like to sometimes draw them in a little bit if I want to be a little bit more dramatic with them, but they don't need to be. Do you mind if I grab a sip of my coffee?
Oh my god, yeah, really. Do you drink coffee a lot?
Yeah, I love coffee. Okay, now we're gonna do some eyelashes. They usually don't distract me like in the ring. Like I don't like super crazy long ones that are like caterpillar looking and like it doesn't look as natural. I need like full lashes. My go-to lashes are Lily lashes. I love the Mykonos. ones. They're a little expensive, but you can get a good amount of uses out of them. In the beginning, putting on lashes was a little difficult, but then you just get super used to it. Now it's like I could do it with my eyes closed. Well, not really. So my mom is so funny. She loves when I do her makeup.
Oh, looks good. Mm-hmm. You do a good job.
I know. She's used to it now more, but in the beginning, like sometimes they couldn't watch. Like the first time they watched me wrestle, they were like there live and I had no idea what I was doing. I wrestled for like 2 months. Every time they were like, oh. Now they're so used to it though. They love watching me. Putting the glue on my lashes, I like to let them dry a little bit because they're easier to put on. So, let's do it. It's the worst when you come up on camera and you got like one eyelash like this. I've broken like a few nails in one match. I actually made it be part of the match though. I started flipping out on the girl, my opponent, and was like, you broke my nail. It was really funny. These are the dip powder acrylic. They're a little bit longer than what I normally do, but I can handle it. And you like learn to work with your nails. I don't really bruise easily. I'll be like sore after a match or like certain moves. Although after the Elimination Chamber, it's like cage match. I was in that match for like 45 minutes. I was a little bruised from that match. I feel like it's part of the game and what we do. It's like my battle scars, you know. I'm usually more sore from my actual like workouts that I do in the gym than like wrestling. We're trained and like we know how to work properly and fall safely, so we shouldn't really be that bruised after every match. But like I did 2 years of training. You just know how to land. Like we land like on your back, like your top shoulders. So you just learn how to protect yourself. Okay, so those are the lashes. How do they look? That was my best wink. Let's see. We're about like 65% right now. Mandy Rose, I'd say. We're getting there.
We look so good. Come on, let's take a selfie. Oh yeah, oops. Whatever. Take one later, we gotta go.
My tag team partner, Sonya Deville, and I, we travel together. We do everything together.
Oh my God.
We drive ourselves, and that's why we created the Mandy's Donut YouTube channel. Every city we go to for TV, we find the best glazed donut and rate the donut.
Gibson's Donuts in Memphis, Tennessee. Yo, I'm giving this 9.5. Wow. I've been playing around. You're just getting crumbs everywhere. It's my rental car. I do what I want.
We just love donuts. We love food. We're like little foodies.
Mandy, what's the #1 rule of road tripping together?
One person drives and the other person holds the fries.
That's right.
We're a huge family in WWE. We're with each other more than we're with our own families, which is kind of scary, but it's also like we've developed such a close bond. You share a locker room with these women, you work with these women. It's a competitive sport, and obviously everyone wants to be at the top, but you do have to respect each other and work with the person, whether you like them or not. We all travel together and stay in the same hotel. It's fun. We all have a good time.
Just touched down in Honolulu. Sun.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna put a setting spray on. My favorite setting spray is Urban Decay. Close your eyes. This highlighter's cool. It's like just got a bunch of different colors. Because we are under the lights, I don't like to do too much of this because sometimes this is what creates that like shiny look and it could come off as like greasy or oily. And I like to just do it right above my cheekbone. I do a little bit on my nose here. I sometimes put it on my lip. For this natural look that I'm going with, this is my go-to. It's MAC Soar Lip Liner, and I just outline my lips and put some chapstick on. When we wrestle, I like to use a stain and no gloss. My hair will be all over the place and it'll get stuck to my lip. I did have a bad experience one time with a lip stain though. I had lip stain like stuck in my tooth during a match, and my tag team partner kept telling me like, get the lipstick off your teeth, and I was like, kept rubbing it, like trying to get it off, and I couldn't get it out. My hairpiece also came out too. That was another one. This is quite the match. But those are the, you know, what we have to deal with. Before I started wrestling, I had naturally long hair, but with all the traveling and our hair gets pulled, gets stepped on in the ring, I've had to get tape-in extensions and make sure I take care of my hair. Because of the blonde, you gotta be careful. My colorist is really good. Instead of like a bleach, I use a high lift. I usually get my high lifts every 4 to 5 weeks. Oh, I didn't do mascara. I forgot. This mascara I love. It's L'Oreal. I got it at CVS. And then I'll just kind of like do a little bit of the lash, not too much, but make sure your real lash is getting some of the mascara. So I get laser because it's so much easier not having hair and not having to deal with that, you know, being on TV and doing photo shoots, Who Wants Razor Burn and all that stuff. The machine that I've been going to, it like squirts out a little water when it like laser you, whatever that is, and it like takes away the pain. There's been a couple times where my teeth have gotten hit like pretty hard. I'm very nervous about them getting knocked out because it's happened to a couple of women wrestlers actually. Not a cute look. Right before every match, I have to do like 20 push-ups. Like it's a weird number. Mine, like I like to get a little pump on. So now this is the completed look, and I feel a lot like Mandy Rose right now, not gonna lie.
This is God's greatest creation, Mandy Rose.
God's greatest creation was created by Corey Graves, the announcer. He came up with the name, so I can't even take credit for it. It just describes me, basically. I'm God's greatest creation.
Newsflash, honey. Nobody burns hotter than Mandy Rose.
I actually never imagined my life would unfold like this. I was going to be a teacher. Then I went on to speech language pathology, which I loved, and got my bachelor's in that. I wasn't sure about going on a reality show, to be honest, but it changed my life forever, and look at me now. You know, I wasn't always like this. I think fitness has really changed the way I feel. I trained really hard. I got into fitness. I started really being comfortable in my own skin. I was always a little bit like thicker and like a little bit shorter. I always had like bigger legs, so I created that into having more muscular legs. Now my legs and my butt is like the best part of my body, I truly think. You know, I have a certain look and I'm perceived a certain way, but I'm all about women empowerment, and right now it's an incredible time to be a woman, not only in wrestling but in sports entertainment. This year was the first time women headlined and were the main event of WrestleMania. It just keeps getting better and better. On the weekends, our live shows start usually around 7:30. Tuesday Night SmackDown starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The live shows are usually like 2.5 to 3 hours. SmackDown is 2 hours. So usually after a match, you're pretty sweaty, you're pretty, you know, out of breath, you're excited because of your adrenaline, you know, is rushing through. It's a great feeling. Just finished wrestling in Shanghai, China. So after our show, I like to wash my face and shower right away because we were just in the ring and we sweat, and usually have to get on the road and drive like 3 to 4 hours, so it feel kind of gross if you don't shower. But usually when I get back to the hotel is when I do my routine, exfoliate, and whatever else I have to do to take care of my skin. When my head hits the pillow at night, it's usually like the best feeling in the world. After a very long travel week, I'm finally en route to go home, but right now, it's time to go to sleep. Good night. Do you want me to put you in a headlock?